everyone. My name's Alexis.
And you're?
And I'm a mediator.
Hi, my name's Ellen and I'm a mediator too.
And we both want to thank you for coming today. First off, I just want to start by, getting your names so we know what to call each other by. We'll start with you.
I'm Miss K.
Okay.
I'm Mr. M.
Ms. K and Mr. M. Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, the mediation process is confidential. Anything that you say here, isn't going to go anywhere else. We want to make sure that we are respecting each other during this time, letting each other speak when it's their turn. What else?
And what mediation is all about, as mediators, we are the third party. We're completely neutral. We're not siding with anyone else. We're just here to listen. We're just here to listen to your stories and kind of, help you guys solve this problem out.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you guys do have going. And we just wanted to start off with why are we here? Can we know from Miss K, why
Well,
are we here?
I think this is ridiculous because Mr. M over here is trying to get a TRO on me, and so basically we agreed to build a fence. I agreed to build a fence because I'm retired, and for some reason Mr. M just decided to put up a fence, even though I said I was going to build it. And so of course I'm pissed off. He sent me a bill. I'm not going to pay it, so
That's
I
not
took
what
apart the
happened.
pen. I
We
took
had
apart
an
the pen.
agreement
Sorry.
to...
If we
Sorry,
could
Miss
just,
K.
yeah.
Let me talk to Mr. M for a little bit. Wait, hold on.
We're going to finish.
I know, but in this mediation, it would be nice if you could be respectful towards the party that's talking. You want to hear the story, and we'll get back to you, and we'll give you time to tell your stories. But for right now, I would hope that you could give her as much as respect that you would want when you're talking. Is that possible in this mediation, Mr.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
So
continue.
as I was saying, I said I was going to build the fence, and then out of nowhere, Mr. M just decides to hire someone, build the fence, bill me, and of course I'm not going to pay it, so I took apart the fence, and I think it's ridiculous that he's trying to move our property line, which is stupid.
So when you say you took apart the fence, meaning the fence was all built, the fence was finished, and you started to take it apart?
Yeah, because he billed me for it, and I'm not going to pay for that. And I feel like he crossed the line, he moved our property line in his favor, so of course I'm going to
How so did he move the property line? What do you mean by that?
He expanded his side and pushed the fence up against my apartment, so I didn't think it was fair, so I removed it.
Okay. And anything else? Any other issues going on?
No, I just think this is ridiculous.
How are you feeling about this invasion?
Well, when the fence was going up, you saw the construction going. It probably took a while to build that fence. How did it feel? How did it make you feel when he was building that? Did you know prior of what was going on?
Well, to me, I was gonna get around to building the fence, and I was gonna do it for free of labor, kind of thing. And then out of nowhere, the fence just starts going up, and it pissed me off.
Okay. It made you a little bothersome.
Yeah, because I said I was gonna do it, and for free, and to be billed for it. I'm not gonna pay for something that I feel crossed the line, first of all, and something that I would have done for free.
Is there anything else that you wanted to express?
No.
Okay. Now on to you, Mr. M. Can you tell me a little bit more about the situation?
Yeah, so there's definitely some disagreement going on between Miss K and I. So, long story short, we needed a fence for just to establish a line in order to, have my space, have her space, just like any good old neighbors would. And I originally wanted to hire someone, a contractor, to build the fence. And I understand that Miss K is retired. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Miss K is retired, and I had my friend's friend who was gonna build it for an X amount of dollars, and I was willing to pay it just because I wanted the fence to get done in sufficient time, just to get it over with. It's not. I mean, we don't have bad blood against each other. Maybe this incident is creating some bad blood, but it's just nice to have a fence and to establish, property, or to establish our own space.
Was there a fence before this new fence? Was there like a prior fence that was already built there, and we were just
No, there wasn't.
So there's no fence. So
There was no fence
We
at all.
just have 2 apartment complexes
Yeah.
next to each other with
So
no
it's like
fence dividing. So we
Yeah.
figured we'd put up a fence, and I would do it, but
there's a huge yard. So as I was saying, I was gonna hire my contractor, and then I was speaking to Ms. K about it, and we had an agreement, and we spoke about it. I don't know if we have any records or anything, but that because she's retired, she was gonna build it for me with free labor, which I was like, okay, she offered that to me, and I was appreciative of it, and there was a specific time frame which I can't recall. Do you remember the time frame? We will just leave that.
no.
Okay, so there was a time frame that we said. Let's say, for example, like 3 weeks. So this was happening. I noticed after like a week or two, the fence was barely even like started by Miss K. And I mean, I'm busy with work and I have things to do, so I couldn't really monitor the progress of it. But once the 3rd week hit, and we had this agreement that the fence would be up and done, because I didn't want the fence there for space, and like if I want family over, I want to, let's say if I wanted to plan a party 3 weeks after we had this agreement, then I can have them in my own yard and not have people just running in, invading her space. So when the fence wasn't built by the 3rd week, I got mad, and I called the same contractor, and I told him to build his own fence, that this agreement was established between my neighbor, and although it was free labor, that the contract was broken. And that's the bottom line. So the thing that she was saying about getting to it slowly, I understand she's retired and, she's a little older. But still, we still had an agreement, and she broke the agreement. So I brought in my contractor. He was building his fence, and all of a sudden, Miss K, I believe it was like halfway done, or I don't really remember, she gets really aggravated, and she just destroys the fence. She pulls out all the poles, and this and that. I'm like, whoa, like what's going on here? And I got kind of, I was alerted and not scared per se, but just like, what the heck, you broke the agreement. This isn't, this is not into your hands. I put it into my hands now to build this fence. So I have my contractor. She took it apart, and with that, there was a comment said. I don't really remember, but it made me feel really sad that a person can just call me these names and just say these mean things to me, and that's what led to my hold on, time out. It's a restraining order, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's it called?
Okay, so we have a TR, a
TR.
temporary restraining order.
Temporary restraining.
Yeah, I forget what I said too, but okay, so we have we have houses, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was a apartment complex.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Mhm.
So I have two houses, and then the
No
fence.
property line.
Yeah, no property line.
Uh-huh.
So then we had an agreement. It was broken or it
Right.
wasn't met. So then I
Uh-huh.
put my guy. He was building it, and then you saw he was building it, so you got mad or
and
something,
then I took it apart.
and you took it apart.
In the
Yeah.
middle, right?
Yeah, it was like halfway down and you started like taking it apart.
Yeah, well, that's
It
what I
said-
said.
Like I know it just said, I understood my part as I got a bill and then I took it apart, but I might have misread it.
Oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
missed the bill part.
Yeah, see, mine says you requested a bill from me, and then,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
yeah, that's where I got that.
So I hear.
And then you-
oh,
yeah.
timeline.
Okay.
So I'm hearing a lot of information. We have a lot of information here on the table. I do want to clarify. You said that there was an agreement made, meaning there was a time frame for this to be done.
Yes, but at the same time, like, I am retired, I am elder, and I work at the church, so I spend a lot of my free time there, and
Right. What was the timeline that was agreed upon by you both?
I thought it was 3 weeks.
And what did you?
my interpretation, I don't remember, to be honest. Like,
So do you guys recall it, like, so you guys say
it was
that
just
you guys-
verbal.
it was verbal.
Yeah.
And do you guys remember anything that was said? Anything
Well,
else?
because
So,
what I was gonna do was I was gonna hire my own guy, and then Miss K kind of volunteered herself that she's retired and she wants something to do. So I extended. I said, okay, well, if you're gonna do it for free, you know, maybe later we can get into a payment, but
So
I
were
wanted
you
it done in
paying-
a specific time.
So were you paying for the materials and Ms. K was doing the labor for free? Was that what the agreement was that you talked about?
No, I was just gonna, I have my own material, so I was gonna put the fence up, you know, like, at no cost at all to him. I was just gonna,
Yeah.
So everything was gonna be on you. So you
Yeah,
had the
everything was
materials,
gonna be
you
on
had
me. That's
the
why-
labor.
how can, if you're reaping the benefits, why should there be a timeline? I said I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it,
Well,
I
because
just haven't been able
an
to get around
agreement,
to
an
it.
agreement is an agreement. You said 3 weeks, and I wanted it done for 3 weeks because I wanted to have this party or my son's birthday or whatever. You know, I wanted to have something in privacy of my own home, my own backyard, to where whatever I do is not going to be seen by you. Not like I'm doing any crazy acts or anything bad, but I just wanted that fence there
Mhm.
within 3 weeks. And I told you, you know, I don't care about money. Money's not a problem to me. I would have paid the guy. I was gonna pay some guy to do it for an X amount of dollars. I don't even know. She offered, and I was like, oh, I was kind of iffy about it. And then I understood that she's retired. She needs something to do. She offered her time, so I was like, okay, well, what the heck? Give her something to do. You know, here's this. You're gonna offer it to me. You know, we'll meet middle ground, and then you can build it for me.
Money's not a problem to him, but for me, I'm not gonna be spending money on something that I can do by myself when I have the materials as well.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable on both accounts. What you were saying about, I'm gonna go back to a point.
did you guys say, like, what the purpose of the fence was? Did you guys agree?
Just to divide.
Just to divide
Just to
that
divide
house.
it, like, to have, like, privacy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, privacy or property.
Yeah.
Okay. When you saw that the fence wasn't going up in a timely manner that you had thought it should be, did you bring this up to Ms. K?
No.
No, he just started putting up the fence and decided to bill me, and so I took matters in, just as he took matters into his own hands, so did I, because I felt that it was wrong what he was doing, and that's why I took action.
Well, that action was a reaction to your lagging of building the fence, because we had an agreement and you broke it. So, you know, first you went, then I went, and then you got crazy. When I billed you for something that you said you'd do for free, but you didn't do it on time, you know, I don't have time to just wait around for a fence that's supposed to be built.
I don't see why the fence has to be up so quickly when we've been living here for a long time now, and I mean, I said I'll get around to it, I'll get around to it. I'm old. Like,
I'm hearing a lot of frustration that is built up between you. I think that we both had ideas of what was going to occur, but maybe the communication didn't quite happen. So how are we feeling right now? Like, how, I understand that you have a temporary restraining order against Ms. K,
Yes.
and that was for what?
That was because I gave her the bill, notifying her that, you know, time's up. You know, we had an agreement, you broke it, and I had my own guy come up. And then when the fence was pretty much halfway, or more than halfway, she didn't say anything to me, and she got the bill. She was like, "What the heck?" And then she said, "Forget the bill." Well, I'm assuming she said, "Forget the bill," threw it out, and then she took matters into her own hands and broke the fence that I was paying for my contractor, when she could have done something more reasonable, like told me, well, what's this bill about? You know, maybe your contractor do half, and I can finish the other half with my materials. But
well, I feel
it
like
didn't happen.
if he was just gonna take matters into his own hands and decide to build a fence and bill me for it without my consent, then no, I'm not going to pay for it. And
But you broke the agreement though.
But
but
wasn't-
you started an agreement without, or you started a fence without consulting with me, which I think is ridiculous. I don't have the kind of money you have. Like, I can't just be hiring somebody to put up a fence and paying ridiculous amount of money for it when I could do it for free.
So let's go back to like when this whole thing started. You guys did have an agreement in the beginning, is that correct? And
No, we
because-
did.
You guys did. You
Yeah.
guys did. That's correct.
Just a
I'm
verbal.
getting that
3
right.
weeks. Yeah.
Verbally.
Do you agree to the 3 weeks that was stated?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember. I admit I did keep pushing it back, like
Mhm.
thinking I had more time than I needed to, but I didn't think that things would get this out of control that fast. I mean, I didn't think it was a big enough deal that Mr.
Yeah.
M would start building a fence without consulting with me.
When the 3 weeks happened, just like the agreement had said, were you able to talk to Mr. M about your situation and how your plans may have fallen through?
No, I didn't, which is
Wasn't a chance.
my fault now, but I didn't realize it was such a big a deal. Like, if I knew that he was gonna do all of this, of course I would have told him, hey, I need more time, kind of thing. But I just really didn't think things would get this far.
So I see a point of common ground where, you know, we both kind of missed a communication point, you know? You see where you could have had the opportunity to talk to Mr. M.
Right.
And you as well noted that there was an opportunity where you could have talked to Ms. K about the fence, correct? Or we said, you were talking earlier about.
About how 2 weeks passed and there was like
Right.
one pull up.
Right.
Yeah, when he decided to start building the fence without consulting with me.
Yeah, because the time was up. I mean, time is up, time is up. And what are you gonna do?
But you didn't.
No, because we had
Feel-
a verbal agreement, and then my whole purpose was to hire my guy to get it done in 3 weeks. But then I felt like I wanted to help her retirement or whatever, give her something to do.
Mhm.
So when she offered I could do it for free, I was like, okay, fine, do it for free, but I want it done by 3 weeks.
So at the end of 3 weeks, like how did that make you feel when the only one of the polls were up? Like how did it?
Well, it's pretty disappointing because I put myself out there. I mean, I could have. Money's not a big deal, and I know we're different for monetary things, but I mean, I just wanted this fence up so I can have the peace and quiet and my privacy, and I wanted it in 3 weeks for that reason. And when it wasn't done, I mean, we had an agreement. It was broken. I felt that it wasn't necessary for me to talk to her and say, well, you know what's going on. The agreement's an agreement, and it just didn't work out. So that's why I called my same guy, and then my same guy did it, you know, with it like rather quickly. Like I don't know how fast he did it.
And that's the problem there, because he comes from money and he thinks that money will just solve everything, but I don't. And I can't afford to be paying for a fence that I could build myself. I mean, I don't see what the big deal is, because we've been living so long without a fence. Like, I don't see what the rush was to. And I'm at fault there because I didn't realize. I just didn't think, like, I'm not invading his privacy, you know, so he can have a party. Like, I'm not complaining about it or anything. Why does the fence need to be there so quickly?
So I do want to address the temporary restraining order that you may file against Mrs. M. So are you feeling unsafe? Are you? What is the purpose of the restraining order? Why do we have that?
Well, the fence was halfway built, and I gave her the first bill, and because the agreement was broken, you know, I keep hammering that the agreement was broken. But when the half fence was built, I gave her the bill, you know, kind of like easily notifying her, you know, like I'm gonna get my own guy to do it. I mean, from year one pull, in a few days, it's been half a fence, you know, like you're doing something wrong on your part. So, what Miss K did was tear up my fence, tear it apart. All the money that I paid the guy, you know, that's gone to waste. So I want. Do I want money? I'm not really.
I didn't see anything.
Okay, So,
I mean, I'm sure you do.
yeah. So I got mad because she tore up the fence, but then also with tearing up the fence, I thought I was living next to, a friendly neighbor or, a cool older lady, but she started yelling all this crazy stuff at me, threatening me, and knowing that she works at the church, I was like, this person can't be in a religious establishment working with kids. So that's why I'm actually pretty close to still getting a restraining order because I don't want to feel uneasy, just walking out in my backyard and having her talking crap about me or whatever. Like that's not cool. I don't live here for that. I want to live here to have my own privacy and do whatever I want.
So her coming at you and being aggressive made you uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, really uncomfortable. Yeah.
Well,
I was shocked. I was startled. I was like, what the heck? It's just totally not cool.
I mean, of course, I admit now, of course, I was just speaking out of anger because how would you feel if you were just billed one day, without your consent or anything? So of course I was mad and I said things that, looking back, shouldn't have been said. But at the same time, I don't think a restraining order is necessary because I do work with kids and I can't have that against me.
Kill your reputation.
So
Yeah,
hearing,
I mean, I'm not a crazy person. I was angry.
So the main reason you're here isn't the restraining order. It's because you want the fence to be complete.
Yeah, I want the fence to be complete in 3 weeks, and I think with the contract being broken, I took it into my own hands and just did it myself, and called my contractor who was going to do it at a decent price, maybe a little bit overpriced, but still at a decent price, and he was going to do it in the time I wanted it to be done. And then when she comes out and starts yelling at me and breaking the fence, that's kind of, I didn't know an older lady can just destroy a fence with her bare hands. It's kind of crazy, especially that she works with children at the church. What if she's having a bad day already, she goes to the church, and then the kids somehow are even crazier, and then she's gonna hit a kid or something,
He puts me in a bad mood.
What?
He in a bad mood then.
Well, but the purpose of your building the fence is mainly your privacy. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Your privacy.
I want privacy.
You value it. You value it a lot, and you wanted to throw a party for your 2-year-old son.
Yeah, just throw whatever I want, Have like a beer bong tournament or, just lay out and sunbathe or whatever. Obviously something else. But yeah, just have my own privacy and not worry about someone, looking outside the window and doing what I'm doing. There's a fence there, so I don't have to worry about it.
And before you guys came to an agreement last time, did you understand that his privacy, how much he valued his privacy? Have you guys talked about?
No, I mean, I just thought, put up a fence, just, to put up a fence so we can establish a property line. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, to have it done within 3 weeks, I mean.
And from we've been here for quite a while now. Have you taken anything from what he has said, or?
I'm still, to be honest, I'm still willing to build the fence. I refuse to pay, to be honest, because I have the materials we need, and I just want to be out of this.
And you're just willing to start building on the fence again.
Yeah, I feel like now, I really didn't realize before that how badly you wanted the fence up. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. That's why maybe that's me being selfish, but it was not a big deal to me, so I didn't think it would be that big of a deal to you.
But now you see that it is.
Yeah, now that I know it is a big deal, I mean, I am busy. I still want the fence
You're
up.
not that busy, you're retired.
Everyone has things that they value more so, and we each have our own things. Correct. I mean, you have things to do. She may have things to do. We all have things to do, right? But let's try to get to fixing the issue at hand, which is the fence, as we've established, right? So what I'm hearing is that you have materials, correct?
And you have the willingness to kind of rebuild that the fence. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And from what you've heard her speak, do you feel that she's willing? Do you understand that she's like, you know, respecting your privacy and kind of starting the fence? Would you be acceptable of that?
Well, yes and no. I mean,
Mhm.
we had an agreement and it wasn't met at first, so why am I gonna trust her again? And more importantly, her whole outbreak, you know, that just yelling at me was totally uncalled for and absurd. So I'm kind of still pissed about that, you know.
So you're still upset about that?
Yeah, I'm still upset about that, and especially that, you know, I go to the same church that she goes to, and for her to have that stored emotion, to have that anger inside is not cool, especially for the kids.
Mhm.
So
So
I feel like this restraining order is kind of still apparent here, you know.
It's on the table for you?
Yeah, it's on the table.
I mean, we're human beings after all. Like, I mean, when you had built that up, and you also noted that you should have talked to her about building the fence before you have started. Is that correct? Is that what I'm understanding? Yeah.
Kind.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
maybe at the 2-week point, I could have said, you know, there's only like a few pulls up. Are you gonna finish it within 7 days? Because our agreement's up. I probably could have went over, but then again, I didn't want to bother her. You know, I didn't care about it. But now that I think about it, I could have done a friendly reminder
Mhm.
before calling my guy and then just doing it himself.
Mhm. So,
So I just want the temporary restraining order dropped. Like that's my main concern.
all right. So let's talk about, I mean, since we're on the subject of that, I mean, what is it going to take for that to be cleared up? And that, I know, has to come from you, because this is something that you are concerned about. So what do you need, or what are you looking for from Mrs. K?
I'm looking for an apology for, number one, breaking the agreement, and then having that resulting in, you know, because if the agreement was never broken, we wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be taking the time out of my busy schedule to work. You know, she's retired, so she doesn't worry about anything. But
I mean, if he's looking for apologies, so am I, because I feel like he crossed the line by just taking matters into his own hands without discussing it with me. Like, it's kind of a slap in the face to me. Like, I mean, I understand I put it on the back burner kind of thing, but I mean, to me, I only did that because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I feel like disrespected in a sense too, and offended or I'm just so mad that he just sent me a bill, like, without no consulting.
So what are you both hearing from each other? So what did you just hear Mrs. K say, in your own words?
I heard that she wants me to say sorry for throwing a bill in her face.
Okay. And what did you hear Mr. M say?
He wants me to apologize for threatening him and
Breaking.
breaking the fence.
And are these things that we could both apologize for? Do we feel that, you know, this is something...
If it gets the restraining order out of the way, then yeah. I'm sorry that I threatened you and...
Time out. Because in my mediation, Al, the guy that I was mediating
That's
with,
cool.
Yeah,
he's pretty cool. But he mentioned to the parties, he kept emphasizing the fact that if they go to court, then they're not going to have any say. They're not going to be able to solve out anything. They're going to have the hearing of whatever the court says.
Mm-hmm.
So he emphasized, I'm here. I'm here to listen to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys seem frustrated. Like, can I say that in this mediation?
I think you can, and I think you should. And then,
Yeah.
as far as talking to him about the restraining order, you should try to be like, not just if she apologizes, but more so like make her seem more like, okay, she's retired and she had no idea that this was going on. Like, you just you did this without her, so she was angry. Haven't you ever been angry? Obviously you were, because you hired this other person and blah, blah, blah. Like, try to find commonality in the fact that she was angry at him and that's why she broke the thing. So, I mean, it's just like a human thing, not like, oh, she's trying to fight you. She's old, she's not going to kick your ass.
So my whole point is to My whole point's to get the money. I don't think money was a thing. It was, well, number one, you want to get the restraining order.
So I want the restraining order off and you want the fence.
Yeah.
Okay, I want the fence. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I
Okay,
know,
sure.
I feel that you guys are both frustrated, but the only thing that I have to tell you is that if we do go to court, and if we, the both parties go into court, you guys are not gonna have the hearing that you guys would want. You might have to pay for everything, for all the damages and all the money that it takes for the fence to build, and you might never get the restraining order cleared. So I just wanted to emphasize that I'm here, or we're here, as a third-party mediators to kind of help you guys reach to a point of a resolution, because we find that over the years that people are happier when they reach their own agreements rather than going to court and hearing the judgment. So from this understanding, do you guys have the willingness to kind of talk it out, kind of write it on paper rather than the verbal agreements, and kind of wait it out? We can do a continuation where we can check up on the progress of the fence and see how it is, how it goes. Would that be something possible for you guys to talk about?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay out of court. Me personally.
Staying out of
Yeah,
court.
I think saving us time, and if we can, both give better communication. Maybe I can get Miss K's phone number and call her instead of having to walk over. I mean, it's not far. I'd rather walk over, knock on her door, and talk face to face, because we're kind of heated at each other right now. If we can establish a better communication, then we can probably get something going.
Okay.
Because I just want the fence built. I want my privacy. I want to be able to, in a few weeks, just go out and smoke some freaking weed, man. And not care that this chick over here from church is going to tell everybody else. And I know it's confidential, that's why I said that. I just want to
This is
kick it,
confidential.
drink beers, and, do whatever I want.
And I feel like I don't want to pay for the fence, but I am willing to do whatever it takes to get the restraining order off, and if that means spending all my time building the fence just to get the restraining order off, I'll do it.
And what would be the ideal time frame that you guys can agree on and get the fence built up?
You're like at 30. Let me check this one. This one's accurate. 38. So maybe like 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Do 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
She says like 6-7 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Or maybe just keep rebuttaling,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll take time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What would be the time frame that you guys can agree on? To
Well, I
build a
mean,
fence?
I am old, and it is just me doing it, keep in mind. So I think 2 months would be a reasonable time.
2 months?
As I work at the church, or I volunteer at the church, I mean, that's where
2
I spend
months?
most of my time.
No way.
And what are you thinking?
2 months is ridiculous. The first agreement we had was 3 weeks. That's
Well, I
more
think
than
it's
double.
ridiculous that he only wants a fence so he can smoke weed in privacy.
No, it's more than that. It's more than just smoking weed. I'm not just a total pothead, I just want to have my privacy. And I'm thinking on the other side, don't you want a fence too, so you can do whatever you want to do? If you want to have family over, I don't have to. You don't have to see me. I can stand straight up and it would be just a fence over me.
Right? I mean, I do, but there's no sense of urgency for me because, I mean, obviously there is for you, and I respect that, but we've been living without a fence for this whole time, how many years we've been living next to each other, and now with all of this ongoing as well, I mean, what's another 2 months?
What time frame are you thinking of?
I understand you're older and you love being at the church, but I mean.
Well, he's reaping all the benefits, so I mean, I feel like, why should he have a time frame? I'm putting in my labor, my materials, so why can't it be on my time?
Okay.
How do you feel? What do you think about that?
I feel more at ease now. I mean, regardless, I'm going to pay my contractor for half of the fence. So, but if Miss K can if we can come to an agreement and if she's going to do it all for free in an okay amount of time, I mean, I don't know about, 8 weeks is kind of a lot, you know. I was thinking, I mean, if she couldn't do it in 3 the first time, I was thinking maybe 6. Like, I can give you double, you can still go to the church. You know, if you want my help, I have no experience building fences, but I mean, I can help you out with the heavy stuff. And, you know, we can do it, I mean, 6 weeks double, and I think that seems pretty reasonable to me.
How do you feel about that?
I do like that idea, actually. I think 6 weeks is a decent amount of time, as long as the restraining order comes off and I'm still refusing to pay the bill or whatever your contractor.
Well, since you're going to do the fence for free and, you know, you have all the materials, then, you know, me paying for half a fence, and if you're going to put a full fence in a month and a half, you know, I'm not really losing anything. So that's cool with me. I mean, I'll take the restraining order off, you know, now that I look at it from your perspective, I understand that you kind of had an outbreak. You know, maybe you were having a bad day already and I just didn't consider it, and, you know, our communication efforts are still off, so, I mean, I'll take the restraining order off, and within, I mean, if it's done in a month and a half, you know, we can exchange phone numbers, and if you need help with something, with heavy moving or whatever, you know, if I'm free, I'll be able to help you to get it done.
So would it be ideal if we had a continuation where we would be able to check in with you guys and let's say, so you guys have 6 weeks to build up a full fence and you are willing to help and she has all the materials. Is it a deal for you guys to check in within 3 weeks? And you guys don't have to come to court. You guys can just give us a phone call. I'll give you guys all the papers that you guys need, kind of writing everything down. And we can do continuation to where we stand with the fence and where we stand with the agreement in the 3 weeks. And if you're not unhappy with it, you guys can request for another continuation with a longer duration, or you guys can come to court again with the same things. Would that be something ideal for you guys? Because
Yeah, I like that. That way, I mean, I'm still gonna need a few days just to like rearrange my schedule, let the church know, you know, I won't be able to make it in because I have to do this instead. But yeah, I think a continuation would be ideal.
Okay. And how about you, Mr. M? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think, you know, now that we've doubled the time, that within 3 weeks, the fence should be like about halfway done. And, you know, I mean, I'm sure at 3 weeks it'll be halfway done, or close to being halfway done. And, but I'm just saying right now, you know, if by 6 weeks it isn't done, I'm gonna call my guy, and you know what? I don't even care about the restraining order. I just want my damn fence.
Alright, so if we can go ahead, we can get this in writing. We're gonna have, 6 weeks, build full fence. We'll have continuation at 3 weeks. See how the progress is going, things like that. Make sure that you two exchange phone numbers so that that's easy for you to contact each other, correct?
Yes.
And then we'll go ahead and write this down and get you both to sign it. Does that sound good?
That's cool with me.
Excellent. Well, we definitely want to thank you both for coming to mediation and using us as a resource. You both did an excellent job in communicating with each other, and we hope that we will see you in 3 weeks and everything is good. All right?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We are at 44 minutes.
Cool.
Nice.
Now we got
So
debrief.
deep.
That was hard.
That was hard.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was being a dick about it.
Well, that's
about the super restraining order.
I mean, yeah, I
But
mean,
that's real.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, about the whole thing, like, well, I go to church too, and I don't want her being in my church, and she's
Yeah.
like being all crazy.
Yeah. It's hard because I was about to be like, I wanted to say a solution. I'd be like, so if you have materials,
Yeah, exactly.
why don't you give the materials and you pay for the labor? Done.
Yeah.
Moving on. But I was like, no, don't do that.
Call it
Because
a
you
day.
guys started coming to your own agreement. I was like, I'm not going to say anything
Yeah.
at all. Like, I'm just, no.
I think it was easier for me just because like I knew my only purpose was the
Restraining.
restraining order.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I like feel like I did overall get the like shittier end of the stick, but like I got what I wanted in the end.
Right.
So that's why I was
And then you're getting what you wanted in the end too.
Getting a fence. You have a project now because you're retired and you want something to do.
Is that what it really says in the thing?
Yeah, it says like in
Yeah,
parentheses
something
like,
like that,
oh,
yeah.
Miss Wilson, she's retired and she wanted a side project, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Want something to do?
Yeah.
Why would that be the something you wanted to do? Build a fence?
Yeah.
That would definitely not be my retired side project.
My dad just retired and he does the most boring stuff.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's like, did he build a fence?
No, he does eBay stuff. He's making bank, dude.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bam.
he made like
What does he do?
a lot. Like the whole like buying stuff at Goodwill and then like selling it online.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
It's kind of cool. Now my sister's getting into it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I want to do
dude.
that.
I did that
Do it.
on,
Yeah.
I did that on Amazon for a while. I sold a bunch of like random shit in my garage. Oh well, this seems so cool.
Yeah.
We can cut this part out. I'll cut out from my dad.
Like, do we need more debrief? Like, if you want
Probably,
I think-
yeah.
I feel like this was an easier, a lot easier mediation than all
Some of the other ones?
stuff,
Well, this
yeah.
was the first, one of
It was
the
a
first
small-
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a small problem.
Yeah, and it wasn't so like law like related kind of thing.
Yeah. I was trying to like get like to more like, how do you feel about this? You know, but it's like, it's so like,
There's not too
It's
much
pretty
emotions.
simple.
yeah, I feel like
involved,
I'm
that's why.
repeating myself a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, what else can I like talk about?
Mhm.
But, I mean, overall, I think it was pretty good. And we got to an agreement, right? And we didn't
Yeah.
say what to do.
Yeah.
What do you think? How
I
do you
think-
think it went?
Crappy.
No.
You
I
guys
think you
suck.
guys had, especially remembering like the technicalities, like the opening statement, the closing, and then
Yeah, that was cool.
I like how you like stating, not threatening, but like stating like
The whole
I'm your
thing.
mediator. You don't want to take it to court and
Yeah, I think
whatever.
that's-
That was really good.
We didn't include that.
I
in
feel
our
like it was like
statement.
hella, like they were so frustrated at each other. Like you
Yeah.
didn't understand like you still have a restraining order and you still are gonna get this old lady hella pissed.
Yeah.
And to pay
don't work
for
like
the-
that.
Yeah, my mediations, like, they kept emphasizing that as well, like, and they're not allowed to give legal advice, of course, and, like, they kept repeating that, and, yeah,
The credit
emphasizing.
score.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
credit score
Yeah.
for 10 years they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Did you guys have Al too?
Yeah.
I had one.
Al was like hammering down the
Yeah.
like, well,
You know.
chances are,
Yeah.
in my experiences, you know,
Yeah.
Nobody gets what they want.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
in
what.
court you have no options. Right now we're giving you the opportunity to do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he made it.
But this other girl that I had for mediation, she was just like not even listening to the parties. She was just jotting notes like the whole time. She didn't say anything. She was just like,
She
you know
didn't
what?
like deflect poison or anything.
You guys are not even gonna do it, then just go to court. Kind of
What? Really?
thing. I was
One
like,
of-
what?
One of my mediators, like, cause it was like two students, and it was like so frustrating because, the boy, he was just like so
Oh,
arrogant.
the parties were?
Yeah, and it was over a car accident, and the boy, you could tell he was just like swimming for like a ridiculous amount of money. Like he was like so confident and just like yeah, he was like frustrated immediately, and the girl was just like so naive, and she was just like I think the car only the damage was like maybe $1,500, and she was willing to pay like $5,000 if you were to just like leave her alone.
Really?
Yeah, and like and both insurance companies like couldn't come like they're both insurance companies were blaming each other. So us and the mediator were like, wait, why aren't you trying to sue him? Like, but the girl was just like off right now.
And you
So-
can't do anything.
yeah, like you can't give legal advice. Like the mediator, she had to keep like calling us on the side, and she's like, okay, like, cause you want to be like, hello, you know, you just
Yeah.
wanna tell this, like you feel so bad. And, like,
But if it's the agreement they're coming upon, you
yeah,
know, so
I mean,
like,
they didn't
voluntary.
solve it. They took it to court, and which I think is the best situation for the girl. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't go in.
No.
Um,
But it was just like so frustrating because like the boy was just like so much. Yeah.
Is there anything else we should talk about?
I know, before I stop.
Yeah, is there
For
anything else
debrief.
we should debrief about?
Um.
I think the last mediation we should have talked more about the court consequences, but I mean,
Yeah, we
whatever.
didn't really.
We kind of forgot.
Mhm.
It was a tougher,
Yeah, it was a harder.
More emotions involved, like
Yeah.
more
yeah.
personal.
It would have been harder to tie in the whole court stuff.
Yeah. But all around, it was
Pretty
pretty
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Outro?